Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be part 2 to my part 1 on the beginner steroid cycle. This is the not so beginner steroid cycle, where we're going to be continuing where we left off in that video. But before I get into that, thanks for all the likes, thanks for the subs, thanks for the comments. I appreciate all y'all. It really means a lot to me. So without further ado, let's get into this shit, right? So we're going to be starting this cycle at a week 14. You can start this on week 1. Obviously, if you're already like advanced, you're already a pro, you know what you're doing, you just want to hop in on this, you can do that, obviously. But this is really going to be coming from the perspective of you did that beginner cycle, and now this is part 2, and you're ready to ramp up the doses. At the end of that part 1 video, I left 3 options of what you can do, which was drop down to TRT, raise the doses of test and EQ, which were the only compounds we were running in the first cycle, or the third option is raise the doses, add compounds. So we're going to be coming at this from the third perspective of raising the doses and adding compounds. Starting out, week 14, only for 2 weeks, we're going to be running 750 test, 750 EQ, and 175 milligrams of either tren or NPP. That's up to you. Personally, tren doesn't really work with me that well. You know, it's a great compound. It will make you look fucking ridiculous, especially if you have great genetics. But it's pretty harsh, and to be honest, I like NPP better, but it does not give the same cosmetic appearance. So really, you could do either one though, right? So basically, we're just gonna be doing this to get our feet wet with the 19 Norris, right? Just for doing 2 weeks at 175 mgs, which is 25 mgs a day. You'll just do it every day. Okay? NPP you don't have to do every day, but honestly I prefer just doing everything every day. It makes it easier. So we're gonna do this for 2 weeks. We're gonna be looking out for side effects, you know, taking our blood pressure, all kinds of things like that, making sure that you're taking care of yourself, right? Because when you're running doses like this and you start adding in other compounds like tren, NPP, you're going to have side effects. Like, it's going to happen. So you just need to keep an eye out for them and make sure you keep it under control, right? So after 2 weeks, assuming all is well, things are going good, we're on to week 16. We're going to be keeping the test and EQ the same at 750. Now, if I was using Masteron or Primo, I might raise the dose of test and Primo. But personally, 750 test, 750 EQ is a good dose. You get any higher with the EQ, I start to run into hematocrit problems. I know a lot of people that do as well. So this 750 dose is adequate. And for this cycle, that's what we're doing, right? So week 16 to 22, we have 750 test, 750 EQ, and we're bumping our 19 NOR up to 350, tren ace or NPP, right? Like I said. So this, we're going to run for a total of 6 weeks, okay? We're going to make substantial gains during this time period, for sure. Even if you started this at week 1 and have slowly been ramping up the doses this entire time, now that we've added this 350 milligrams of this 19 NOR steroid, you're going to make some gains in this 6 weeks. I guarantee it. You're going to start changing here, right, during these 2 weeks. Yes, even 2 weeks, you're going to start changing. Once we get to here, dude, you're going to be making gains. Like, it's going to be like, who the fuck is this guy? It's not even the same person, right? And that's why we do this for 6 weeks, because you can really milk this section. You can get away 6 weeks, right? And now this next part, the 22 to 28 week plus, section of this cycle is where things get crazy, right? And now I don't recommend any of this, right? None of this is advice, but people do this. I've done this exact cycle myself. So at this point, week 22, keeping the test and EQ the same, you're gonna bump the tren or NPP to 500 to 700 mgs, right? This is where shit can get crazy. On top of that, you can also add in orals. Personally, I like Anadrol, 50 to 100 milligrams a day. You're gonna cycle that for about 12 weeks, right? You don't have to do the full 12 weeks. You can do 6 to 12 weeks, which is why it's 28 plus, right? So 6 weeks would be 22 to 28 weeks. You could theoretically do Anadrol for another 6 weeks on top of that, pushing it out another 6 weeks. Now, in order to push that cycle that far and that hard, you gotta get blood work done. Like you got to, because this is playing with fire when you start doing shit like this. But you gotta understand that people out there are doing stuff like this. So when you see people on social media and they look fucking ridiculous, you know, this might give you an idea of things that they might be doing, right? Like Sam Sulek, calling them out. But an example, right? Speaking of Sam Sulek, is like that's the kind of person who's literally doing like a 28 plus week cycle. He's literally been doing that bulk for what, like 6 months plus already, right? So this is what I'm talking about. People do and can and do, you know, crazy doses for long periods of time. I mean, think about Chase Irons. You guys watch Chase Irons. He's doing a 5 gram cycle right now. He's also on 18 units of growth hormone, which he says is like, you know, the real main, the main stimulator of growth in his cycle. But man, it's still on 5 grams of gear, right? So people take lots of gear. It's just true. It's not going to kill you, okay? But you know, this would be a crazy cycle, and you're definitely going to get side effects, like I talked about before. So there are some things you're going to want to take alongside the steroids to make sure that you don't fuck yourself up, okay? Now, especially when you're looking out for blood pressure, right? You're going to mess your kidneys up with all that tren, all that EQ, making your blood thick, blood pressure's going up. I highly suggest taking telmisartan. It's pretty widely known in bodybuilding. A lot of people suggest it. It's just a great medication for bodybuilding. It does a few different things. I'm not going to get into it all now, but it's definitely something you want to look into if you're going to be running stuff like this. On top of that, you should be focusing on antioxidants, right? Vitamin C, vitamin E, fish oil, melatonin. All of these things are powerful antioxidants, especially that melatonin. You know, look out for your liver, especially if you're taking those orals, Tudka, NAC. I suggest taking neural steroids, DHEA, and pregnenolone. Look at Vigorous Steve has a video, literally it's like 30 minutes just on that shit. But basically, a lot of these neural steroids are produced in your gonads. They're also produced in the brain and the adrenal glands, I believe. But when we're taking steroids, obviously gonads are shut down, so you're not producing as many. So it can be, you know, good for you to supplement with them. So add these to the stack. One thing else I want to talk about here, melatonin, right? It's going to help you sleep. It's a powerful antioxidant. I hear people say that, melatonin gives them bad dreams, or they don't like it because, you know, they get bad dreams. It's like, come on, guys, we're bodybuilders, so shut up, man. Fucking, you can't be scared of your dreams. It's just a dream. Like, relax, you're going to be fine. So definitely take melatonin. It's good for you. It definitely outweighs the negative of a bad dream. Come on, guys. I've had nightmares, right? It doesn't matter. It's a dream. You're going to be fine. So, okay, another thing besides melatonin, you might need Seroquel, right? If you're running 700 milligrams of tren, probably melatonin might not even cut it. You might have to go a little bit more drastic with something called Seroquel. Seroquel is a prescription medication. It's an antipsychotic, but they also prescribe it as a sleep aid in lower doses. You only need about 25, 50 milligrams of the stuff, and it will put you to sleep. It's going to shut the brain down, and it really works well with tren. It can really help you get a full night of sleep, even while taking tren, and it's not addictive like taking Xanax or something like that. So you do need a prescription, but if you can get a hold of it, I highly suggest it if you're going to be running stuff like this. The point I'm trying to make here is that if you're going to be doing stuff like this and taking high doses and crazy compounds like tren, you gotta do more than just take the steroids. Like, you need to be looking out for your health, blood pressure, right? All of these things, blood sugar, etc. But you know, nothing in life is free. You gotta pay for everything, right? Your gains, you're paying for it in one way or another. But I don't know. That's what I got for this video, guys. If you made it this far, appreciate you, man. Hit that subscribe button. Until the next time, peace.